I feel like it's really complicated to live a life constantly surrounded around people, but not feeling like you are actually getting the support from people. And I know, it's cliche when they say that if you really want support, that you need to actually like leave your community because strangers will actually support you more. And it's so true, you guys, because like in my community or whatever, like I'm seriously in like all the different social media groups. I'm in um, a lot of different friend groups, but I am alone. And I was thinking about it yesterday because yesterday I posted a video when I was talking about how I keep my friend circle really small and how I really don't hang out with people. You guys, I'm actually in groups. Like, I'm actually in different friend groups, but I am that friend that no one seems to invite, or I'm the last one to always be called. And that's the reason why I say, I feel like I'm really alone in this season in life or whatever. And I know that God is keeping me isolated, but no one talks about how hard it is to try to open up a business. Okay. And I've been doing this for quite some time now, but I'm really putting both feet in. And I really feel like my YouTube channel, I'm going to use this, you guys. I'm going to try to post every single day. I'm going to use this to um, build a community of women who also feel the same exact way. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you just need like a listening ear, or sometimes you just need to feel as if you're not alone in a situation. And I never really just got that. And not until recently I found two different people on YouTube that I actually follow. I absolutely love Renee in Session because I feel like Renee and I have a lot in common because she is like en route of finding her place in life right now because she felt as if maybe she changed her job or whatever, that things would get a little bit better. And it did in some sense or whatever. But at the same time, there's still a void that she is trying to fill. And I feel that same exact way because I've changed careers several different times. And I'm not lacking in like stability or anything like that, so I don't want to make it seem like I'm just lacking stability. I've actually been with my current employer. Oh, it's a bug. It was a bee actually. It'll be 15 years, this upcoming September. But you guys, in between then, I had some actual breaks, and that lets me know how disposable I actually am. Because during COVID, well, in 2016, I actually quit my job, and it's the same bank that I'm currently working at now. 2016, I quit my job because my dad had passed and I had went through a severe depression, you guys. I've been through a functional depression to where I was one of those people that was like smiling and all happy and jolly on the outside, but in the inside, you guys, I was just torn apart. Okay, I was like a functional zombie, literally. But I ended up becoming like a life coach. I worked at a local bank. I was a executive assistant. Well, actually, I was an executive analyst, but I was more of an assistant because the executive that I was actually working under, he was very hands-on, and he really didn't want to give me any work or anything like that. So I was basically just doing like secretary work and stuff like that. And it was just crazy because the other two secretaries that actually worked there, I don't know, they just did little things or whatever. And I will always get comments from like the different employees and stuff of how, you know, they finally got ivory, no, some ebony in all of that ivory. And you guys, I didn't know what that meant. They finally got ebony in some of that ivory. And I was like, oh, okay, I see what this is. They essentially hired me in for diversity, but it's okay. I got paid. Okay. I got paid and real good at that. But anyway, I transitioned from that executive analyst position to nursing coordinator, and that was only because they did not want to pay me unemployment. They let me go, and I actually processed my own termination. You guys, it was paperwork that I had to fill out, and one of those positions was actually mine. It was crazy, but when I went to the unemployment office, you guys, they denied my unemployment, and then they called me in to become the nursing staff coordinator. And I thought that was just absolutely crazy because that was like one of the most stressful jobs that I had ever experienced in my life. Like, healthcare is not for me. And maybe for you guys, I'm not knocking anything like that. I'm just saying it just was not for me. But from there, you guys, I had to actually run an errand back at the local bank where I'm working at. I had to run an errand for the hospital. To drop off some documentations and get some signatures and stuff. And one of my former coworkers had actually told me, "Hey, we have a position open. Why don't you come and apply?" And I actually applied for that position, and they let me go. Like, I worked that position for 2 years, and the person that they assigned me with, you guys, was just And I hate to say this, but I felt like he was like a spawn from hell. He was just horrible. He was rude. He had the worst communication skills ever. And I worked in treasury management, and that was where I actually had different clientele. I had over 250 clients. Well, he had over 250 clients, and the position that I had is that I actually had to work alongside with him in the implementation team, to where um, I helped them to actually learn the different products and services. I taught them how to use it. Um, but he would do things like call them on the phone and then call me on like three-way, or like on a Teams call or whatever, and just impromptu set up a meeting, and I would not be prepared, and it made me look so bad in like all sense of being a concierge, like being a person who was supposed to be their first contact. So I just didn't like it, and when COVID came about, can we say that? Then the pandemic came about. Um, they actually let me go, and I was actually leaping with joy. I know that sounds crazy, but y'all, if you could understand the joy that I had, like I was literally praying to God. I was praying to God, asking God to help me up with my exit plan, and that's actually the same exit plan that I'm working on today. I'm building an exit plan, you guys, because I want to live a life. For me, I want to do what Christy wants to do. I want to figure out what it is that Christy wants to do. But when they terminated me, you guys, I had a life changing experience. Okay, I actually went through a lot during that season, and that was actually where I had picked up New Age spirituality. I was really looking for something to give me that peace, and I'm gonna tell you something. That New Age spirituality did not give me that peace. Okay, it brought all kind of spiritual warfare my way. But anyway, during that time, I also had became a life coach for a local high school, and if I can tell you one thing, that was probably the best position that I actually ever had in my life, was becoming a life coach, and I absolutely loved it. Other than some of the traumatic experiences that I experienced, um, I'm not gonna go into detail or anything like that, but we did experience shootings at the school. Well, not at the school, but it was like after hours. But someone had gotten murdered, one of my clients, and I was just torn. That's the part of life coaching, and if you're a therapist or counseling, that's the part that no one talks about, is the situations that you actually go through, and you have to be strong for other people around you. But y'all, during that moment, oh my goodness, it was so hard on me. But after that situation, they had changes in like the superintendent, changes in administration of the school district, and they canceled my contract. So during that time too. Oh, also. Before the life coaching, I actually had opened a daycare. So while I was working in that treasury management department, I was actually building a daycare. So when they let me go, I just went ahead and launched that daycare. And I actually started off with a summer camp. Y'all, the summer camp was so great. It was like a STEM summer camp. We built volcanoes and did all kind of like science projects. We had a caterpillar that we named Mr. Caterpillar, and the kids made like a whole rap song to it. It was just so great. But after the summer session was done, I opened it up to the actual daycare services, and that was short lived. And that was one of the things that I was talking about with the spiritual warfare, because I remember during that Christmas break, I had wrote down in red ink, you guys. I wrote down on my calendar, closed that whole week. Do you know that I had to close my daycare permanently during that week? And I'll leave that for a different story or whatever. But I had to close my daycare for indefinitely, okay? And I learned then, I was like, you want to know what? I have to be careful of what I write down, the things that I speak, because these things get spoken into existence. It's power in the tongue. It's so much power in the tongue. So that was actually the season to where I actually began to transition out of that new age spirituality, because you guys, when you're looking for peace, there's sometimes in life where you just try different things or whatever, and especially if you have experienced like church hurt, you will begin to try different things or whatever. But just trust and believe, your girl is back. Okay, I don't practice any of that stuff no more, none of that sage, none of that stuff no more, none of the crystals. And actually with the crystals, it was actually like a childhood thing that I actually love. I just like rocks. I like rocks and I like crystals. I think that they're beautiful. But during that new age spirituality, it was turned into something different, to where I started to believe that it had like energy and power and stuff. And I feel like in a different realm in this world, and we'll get into that on a different story, it really does. But that's neither like here or there. We ain't talking about that right now, okay? But just to fast forward a little bit, after the daycare, that's when I became a life coach. And after the life coach, I actually went back to that same bank that same bank. So this is my third time around at that bank, and I am now an accountant. And you guys, I had the hardest time in the very beginning. I was always just looking for my manager that I had at that particular time. She just she just chose to miscommunicate. She chose to misunderstand me, and I was just going through so much. And all the while I was doing this, you guys, I was trying to open my business, and I was just being stretched thin in all areas. Like I was being pulled in this direction. Over here on TikTok, over here on Instagram, over here on Threads. I was just getting pulled in all these different directions. And while I'm doing this, you guys, I'm sharing my information with people who I felt like at that time were my friends. Remember, I was telling you, I belong in groups and things like that. And I just felt like, and I don't have no proof, but I got a little bit of proof because I saw the post, and it was some subliminal stuff posted, and those were people who I felt like that were close to me, and I had to let them go, and that's why on the video last night where I was talking about how, well, not last night, but yesterday morning, I posted yesterday morning. I was talking about how I'm still in those networking groups, and that's only because when you go through a season of isolation, you really just yearn to be around people, and sometimes you allow situations to happen because you just want to fit in so bad. But God is, I feel like every time I talk about this, He's like sucking me back out of it. He's just like, "Do you hear what you're saying? Do you hear yourself?" And make sure my mic was on. Do you hear yourself? And I'm just like, Lord, I am trying my best to be obedient. I am trying my best. So I feel like He's sucking me out of those groups. So there were some people this morning that I went and blocked on my YouTube. Oh, and I didn't deactivate my social media, but I deleted the apps from my phone. Last time when I deactivated, it was just so hard to get back in it that I chose this time to just delete it off of my phone. So I deleted Facebook, I deleted Threads, and I deleted Instagram. Did I delete TikTok? I think I did delete TikTok. TikTok to me is a lighter um, platform. It's not really personalized to where like how Facebook and Instagram is. TikTok is more like fun. I like watching the TikTok reels, the videos and stuff. So I don't know if I deleted it or not. If I didn't, I mean, it's okay because I don't know. I feel like the spirit of comparison is on Facebook and Instagram, and I don't want anything to keep me in the nature of comparison. So that was the main reason of why I deleted those apps from my phone, because I just couldn't stand to see certain posts, certain subliminals, certain things that I have shared with people that they are now doing. Crazy, right? Like I've shared tips and things like that. I know you're supposed to be influential and inspirational and encouraging to other people, but I feel like they're trying to take exactly what I'm building, and it's like I was watching my girl Jay Royale, and it may be Jay Royal, but she has a social media platform to where she also sells digital products, and she was literally just talking about the same thing, to how she had built this community and how the very same people that she trusted with this knowledge information, they started to steal the things from underneath her. And I was like, this is just crazy that she's talking about this is a woman who I like have the utmost respect for, because she built her business from the ground up, and that's what I am doing. So if there's anyone out there that's doing the same exact thing, just trust and believe that there is more out there for you. And if people are still in it, they can't do it the same exact way that you can do it. They can replicate it, but they can't deliver it in the same exact way that you can deliver it. Okay. So just know that. Trust and believe that God got you. Okay. So you may be going through your trials and tribulations. You may be going through your spirit of isolation. You may be going through spiritual warfare. You may be going through whatever it is that you're going through. But just keep your head up. And I'm choosing to push myself forward, to continue to push. And that's why I'm trying to do the 100 days on YouTube or whatever. Renee in session, she did it, and she's continuing to post every single day, you guys. And I find that so amazing. What's the other girl who I follow? Shandrika Freeman. I love her. She posts every single day too, sometimes twice a day. I love her. She's so inspirational. Hers is more in reference to like narcissism and stuff like that. And I've had my goal with that as well too. So um I completely resonated with her when she came out with her platform. But now I'm in a season to where I'm more so speaking on the trauma, like healing from the trauma of like trying to build that foundation with God while trying to deal with like everyday life, with your friendships, with your family relationships, and with building your entrepreneurship. So if you're trying to build like an exit plan, just know that I am here. I'm right along with you. I'm building my exit plan too, and I'm doing this in real life. And I just want to bring you guys along with me. So if it's something that you are interested in, then go ahead and join the community, okay? And if you're also interested in like Pinterest, I am helping women to advertise and promote their businesses, their products and services on Pinterest, because I'm finding that Pinterest will forever circulate you. Like, it's a long game. It takes a minute for you to actually get your products and services in rotation on Pinterest, but it's okay. It's okay. Okay. If you keep consistent at it, you will start to see that you will build traction to your Pinterest account, your Pinterest business account. And in Digital Pins Academy, which is my community that I have on school, I will show you how to do that. Okay. So right now we're in the process of talking about how to set up your bios, how to set up your business account. Well, how to set up your business account and your bios, and just getting familiarized with Pinterest in general. But in a minute, you guys, we're going to be jumping both feet in. Okay. So I have a free community, but there's also paid tiers to where you will actually get more information, more in-depth information. So if you're interested in that, I'll put the link on this video for Digital Pins Academy, and you can join me in my community. This is a faith-based community, you guys, and I can't say that it's easy. I can't say that building a business is easy. I can't say that, advertising your business on Pinterest is easy. Nothing is easy, okay? I mean, if there was an easy button, I would have pushed it a long time ago, okay? So just trust and believe that God has us, and He is steering us into the direction that He wants us to be in, and He is going to continue to align us with the people who He wants us to be in communication with, okay? So the seasons that you went through in the past, where you experienced hurt and people that were disloyal and just situations to where you didn't care to be in, just trust and believe that you needed that for this particular season. You needed to be built and molded in that area to where you can actually just like have your discernment and discern um left and right, okay? Left and right. Discern who needs to be in your circle. Discern the things that you're supposed to be saying, because you'll get like a little inkling. Like, if you begin to talk about something with somebody and you feel like, oh, I shouldn't even say that, or let me stop talking. Stop talking. That's the Holy Spirit talking to you. Stop talking. Like, I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if they ask you a follow-up question. Flip that bad bug, flip that bad boy to where you're now asking them questions. Okay. Just be like, you know what? How are you? How are you doing? Flip it back on them to where it's not them just asking you direct questions about what you got going on. Okay. We're trying to stop this in this season, okay? Because in the previous seasons, you guys, we were too nice. We were giving out too much information. We was giving out everything that God told us that we're supposed to be having. So now we're going to be keeping that, okay? We're keeping that. We're not gatekeeping. That's not what we're doing. I want to make sure I express that we're not gatekeeping. We're just making sure that we're guarding this, okay, to where people aren't just getting free access to us. People who are not supposed to have that access. We've been giving them that access, and it is time for us to stop. So anyway, you guys, if you have enjoyed this message, or if you feel like someone else may need this, go ahead and share this over, you guys, because we're building kingdom-led businesses, okay? So all my girls out there, okay? Like and subscribe. Leave a comment if this resonated with you. And I will see you on the next one. My loves.